Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. We're coming up on the holiday season. Well, we're actually in the swing of the holiday season. Wanted to come on and just chat about one of my favorite holidays, Christmas. I did wear one of my favorite Christmas shirts for the occasion. You know, it's been a tough time. So I wanted to come on and just talk about one of my favorite parts of the season, and that is Christmas music. And I wanted to come in and show you all of the Christmas related records I have. I've dressed up my background for the occasion. You can see the lights. I have Nicholas right there on my speaker. Muchio Noel, you should be seeing right over that way. So we have the whole group here. We're going to talk about Christmas music. This includes full albums and albums that have one Christmas song on them. I have quite a lot. I want to get through them all. So I hope you enjoy the video. Happy holidays for whatever you celebrate, and Merry Christmas to those who do celebrate Christmas. Let's start first with the small records. So I have a couple here to show. The first one being Vince Grivaldi Trio's Linus and Lucy. This was a record store day piece that had come out. Which record store day was that? I wish it would say, but it doesn't. But this has Linus and Lucy and Oh Good Grief. So Linus and Lucy, obviously, actually both of these are from Jazz Impressions of Charlie Brown. So this is not the Christmas album that we all know and some of us really love. What I love about this one is it's colored almost like a golden color, I want to say, a golden yellow see-through. And what I really love about it is the classic style fantasy label. And what is really cool is you don't need an adapter to listen to this one. So I always find it nice whenever there is a actual one like this where you don't have to worry about it. I'll talk about Linus and Lucy when I get to a later record. But I do love Oh Good Grief. It is very in the style of any of the specials if you're used to watching them. So I love the packaging on this. What I really like is if you look at Snoopy, he looks looks a little different. I wonder if this was another interpretation of that moment in the special or not, but I love this cover. I did not pick up the secondary 7-inch that came with this because it was 2 songs I already had, but I definitely wanted this one because at the time I did not have Linus and Lucy, and I am very glad to have that. So we're going to keep moving on. The next one I'm going to show you is a picture disc, and this is for Lindsey Sterling. This is a 7-inch picture disc featuring Your Me One Mr. Grinch and Dance the Sugar Plum Fairy. This was for a record store. This is for a record store day, Black Friday. I absolutely love the pictures on this one, so here is side 1 and side 2. You know, for a picture disc, it actually sounds pretty good, but as you'll see later, I don't play this one that much, but I'm very glad to actually have it because if you've been following my Instagram off and on whenever I get to post or whenever I talk or show my turntable, you'll notice that I actually have a signed record by Lindsey Sterling. So she is one of my favorites. So I am glad to have this one, even if it's just I'm in the mood to listen to those 2 songs. The next one is very special to me. So this one had come out for 2017 Record Store Day. And this is Greg Lake's I Believe in Father Christmas. If you take a look at the back, it has the lyrics. This one is on white vinyl. It is a 10-inch record, and I love that it has the classic Manticore labels. But this one includes the 1975 version and the out-of-print 2002 version. This is my mom's favorite Christmas song. So as soon as I had seen that this was coming out, I had to grab it. I absolutely love this song. It is almost an anti-Christmas song, but they still Sometimes I'll put it in. And this is one that is definitely not played on the radio pretty much at all. You have to actually ask for that one. And Lindsey Sterling's version of Your Me One, Mr. Grinch, which does include a guest vocal on there, so I will. Oh, scared me. It does include a guest vocal, so I'll go over that when we get to there. There is something later that I could talk about with this, but we're not going to see the last of this song, but this song to me is just Christmas. I know it's... to me, I interpret it as a jab at the commercialism of this time of year. So it really is kind of the anti-Christmas song, but it is just so well done, and I do miss Greg Lake so much that I had to pick this one up. So that is it for the small records. So just a very quick recap here of those three. Now we get to move on to the fun stuff. So let's start first with, before we go into those albums that have just a Christmas song on it, I didn't know where to put this one, so I wanted to show it first. So, my favorite Christmas song of all time is Snoopy's Christmas, second only to Celebrate Me Home. When I was looking for this particular song on wax, I saw this at my local thrift store. I thought, perfect. But it is not the song itself. But I've only listened to this once. It's beat up. But I cannot get rid of this just because of the cover. So look at this. This is Santa in a biplane about to go shoot down the Red Baron. And the back has the same thing. This has Jingle. Just Jingle. The Christmas Mouse. Merry Christmas, not M-E-R-Y. Merry Christmas. Snoopy's Christmas. The Christmas Tree. Donner and Blitzen. Christmas Candy. The Little Shepherd. Mr. Reindeer. Jack Frost's Christmas, and the Snowflake Song. Now, what I like about this particular one is the label. The label is interesting. I have no idea what this record is, but I found it at the thrift store for $1, so what can I complain about? It is on the Diplomat label, and I don't know that much about this, to be completely honest, but it is very interesting to me just based on cover alone. This is one where the cover duped me, but I still like to have it just because of the kookiness of the cover. It's time for a fun fact. I bet you didn't know that this particular album actually has a Christmas song on it. And that is Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' I Love Rock and Roll. And what song is that? The Little Drummer Boy. I like her version of this. When I was last at my record shop shopping for a Secret Santa that I'm a part of, he actually, my owner had a 12-inch pressing of The Little Drummer Boy in his Christmas section. So, this is I just so happened to pick this up randomly, but I definitely love the inner label of that. Both records you saw, the previous one and this one, are just on standard black wax, but Little Drummer Boy is song 4 on side B. But I love this this little heart in the middle. Of course, everybody knows I love rock and roll, but the other notable songs on here are Crimson and Clover, love that one. Little Drummer Boy, You Don't Know What You've Got. This is a classic album through and through. But when I was trying to go through and make this video, I didn't think initially. I was just thinking, what other ones do I have? Oh, Joan Jett! So your fun fact is Joan Jett actually did a Christmas song. If you remember just a moment ago, I was talking about this one right here, I Believe in Father Christmas. Well, on Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the Works, or it's called Works, Volume 2. This is my mom's pressing. On side B is another version of I Believe in Father Christmas. And there's the three men right there on the back. So, it's very interesting because even though they say that's the original, I could swear that the mix is different on this one. And that's why it's so interesting to collect records. By the way, this is backwards. Sorry about that. This one is on the Atlantic label, Standard Black Wax, but 3 different versions of the same song. It is very weird. The mixing is completely different. There's some differences in the outro, some more piano work on some of it. I love the song so much, but it's 3 different versions of the same song, and it really is truly indicative of basically why we collect records. Is there are multiple versions on different presses, and sometimes you can buy the same album and it's mixed completely differently. For example, Pearl Jam recently had come out with some of their reissues, and Brendan O'Brien had gone in and mixed some of the albums that he did not mix on, so it's a completely different mix. So keep an eye out. Yes, we might collect the same song over and over, but sometimes the mixes are completely different, and that's why. Now we get to the portion where I talk about my dad. So for those of you who don't know, my dad passed away about 12 years ago, and sometimes around this time of year it's really hard, but there's a couple of Kenny Loggins songs that just make me think instantly of my dad. His version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is beautiful, but Celebrate Me Home, that is my second favorite Christmas song of all time. I love that this has the inner sleeve. When I listen to this song, this is another one that is not played that often, to be honest. You know, you have your Perry Comos, you have your Andy Williams, you have all of those out there, but it rarely gets played. This is on the Columbia label, but to me, this is a Christmas song. It won't be Christmas until I hear it. I listen to it all the time, have it digitally, but found this last year, very happy. It's a beat up copy, but I'm glad to have it. But you know, this is my mom and dad right here, and I'm glad to have both of these. And it's hard for me to put into words exactly how I feel. You have to listen to the song yourself. It's a wonderful, wonderful song, but it is to me it's Christmas, and it's not Christmas without this. So that wraps up all of the single Christmas songs on a big album. Let's move on to the whole Christmas albums, starting with Handel's Messiah. So this is just a random press version, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of interesting. I like the background here. This is a standard black on, what label is this? This is Premier Albums Inc. So this is just a random one. I love collecting Christmas music, even if I might not listen to it that often. But I just love the cover on this one. This is just so interesting. The geometric shapes, all of it. Of course, we all know Handel's Messiah. It's classic Christmas, and I'm glad to have this. Kurt von Baum is conducting the Omberg Symphony. So getting kind of international up here on this. The next one I'm going to show, I will be honest, I know nothing about this. This unassuming white cover, I was at the thrift store. I'm like, what is this? And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I have to have this. I've cleaned it so I can listen to it. I just bought this last year. This unassuming, completely white album is the DuPont Chorus Sings, a Christmas concert presented on December 15th, 1954 in the Playhouse, Wilmington, Delaware, and broadcast over ABC Radio Network with Frank J. Clark Jr. conducting. This is a 33 1/3 microgroove high-fidelity record. It's on the screen label. What I like about this is a single side record, with the B-side being a very weird geometric, almost etching. I don't know what this is, to be honest. And it's got a label, it has information, but this has got to be one of the weirdest records that I own, and that's saying a lot. So, yeah, sometimes I like the weird and obscure stuff. I like to just collect sometimes, and this is a weird one, but I like the weird stuff. Sometimes there are very weird Christmas albums. Moving on to the next one. This is very weird, but I think you'll like this. Disco Bells. 'Tis the Night to Disco, Non-Stop Christmas Disco. This is on the 51 West label with a really cool back cover, black and white. So, what is this? This is disco interpretations of classic Christmas songs. So you have Winter Wonderland, 12 Days of Christmas, Jingle Bells, Sleigh Ride, Little Drummer Boy, B-Side, O Tenenbaum, I Saw Mommy Kiss It, Santa Claus, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and Auld Lang Syne. Now, when it says non-stop disco, they mean non-stop disco. So while there might be grooves in between each of the tracks, there is no backing out. There is no fade out. It just moves right to the next song. So it is one continuous long side. It is very interesting, very cool. I listen to this almost every year. It's beat up. I should probably get another copy. This is my parents' copy. But to me, this is another one. I cannot have Christmas without listening to this one time. And it is kooky. It's weird. It's fun. It's what you think of in a funky, well, disco. Is disco funk? I have no idea. You can let me know down in the comments below. But disco, I like it. It's very funky, cool, just fun album. And I just love listening to it because you don't have to worry about the cracks and the popples. The popples. You know what I mean. In between each of the songs. But it is literally just going. And you could choose the individual tracks if you know how to put down the needle and the stylus and all that and put it there. But this to me is just fun. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of the fun times of this time of year. And just look at this cover. This cover's funky. I love it. I had one of those, for my first turntable, I had one of those all-in-one. You lift up the cover, and that's just basically your turntable. Well, I had moved up to an Ion LP dock. And this was about 7 years ago, I want to say, ish. And the first album I picked up to just test it, because I wasn't going to test it with my albums, was this one. The Firestone presents Your Favorite Christmas Music, Volume 4. And it does have Julie Andrews on it. Now, I've only played this once. It has its own custom Firestone green label on black wax. But let me just move this over so you can see a little better the track listing. You can tell this was somebody else's because they were highlighting some interesting lyrics. I mean, by interesting is just the ones that mean a lot to them. This has a melody. It has Angels We Have Heard on High, I Wonder As I Wander, We Three Kings of Orient Are, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, Ding Dong, Merrily on High, the Christmas song sung by Julie Andrews, Joy to the World. There's a lot of young Americans on this. Ave Maria, another melody of just a whole bunch. Rockin', Little Jesus, Sweetly Sleep, Masters in This Hall, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and The Bells of Christmas. I don't think I said Christmas more reading this track list than this, but this was essentially the test record that made sure that that turntable I got was legitimate. I got my turntable at a thrift store. Somebody didn't want it. It was mint in box. It was one of the luckiest around Christmas that I've ever gotten. But now that I have a nice turntable, I think I'm going to go back and revisit this one. Plus, I absolutely just love this cover. I know there's other volumes that you could have bought at like gas stations, but just look at this. If this doesn't say Christmas, I don't know what will. What? We are moving on to a staple. The Andy Williams Christmas album. This has White Christmas, Happy Holiday, The Holiday Season, classic song, Christmas song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, A Song at a Christmas Tree, 12 Days of Christmas, Kay Thompson's Jingle Bells, The First Noel, Oh Holy Night, Away in a Manger, Sweet Little Jesus Boy, Little Drummer Boy, and Silent Night, Holy Night. The album itself is folded. One moment. The album itself is black wax on the Columbia label. And the instead of a track list, you have Happy Holidays, Andy Williams. It's not really signed. It's one of those faux signed records. But Andy Williams, classic around this time of year. Andy Williams, a classic around this time of year. One of those, if it's not one of those, Andy Williams, a classic around this time of year. One of those, this is Christmas album. You know, you hear a lot of the songs off this album on the radio for good reason, because this is a really good Christmas album. This is stereo, 360 sound. This is one of the early stereo records. You know, they repress some of these sometimes. If you can find this, it's a classic through and through. Andy Williams Christmas album. And every single one of these has some, you know, childhood memories attached to it. This is actually more of an adult attached memory, because I've really come to love Andy Williams Christmas music kind of a lot more as I've grown up and gotten a lot older. Probably in my 20s. Well, I'm going to be 30 soon, but overall my 20s, I've come to appreciate this album a lot more over the years. This next one is, you either love this song or you hate this song. There's no in between, and it's really funny with the cover. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, Elmo and Patsy. You see, half and half. You like it, you hate it. I love this cover. This is on the Epic label. And there's Elmo and Patsy on the back. This has Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Percy the Puny Poinsettia, Jingle Bell Rock, Here's to the Lonely, Senor Santa Claus, Joy to the World, Jingle Bells, Christmas, Just Christmas, and Silent Night. I got this one year. My local record shop was just giving some records away for Record Store Day, Black Friday. This was the one I picked. I've come to appreciate this one too. It's tongue-in-cheek, it's fun, it's exactly indicative of what this time of year is. And to me, I like hearing Grandma Got Run Over. To me, I like the song, the title track of this album. I've not heard this on the radio yet, so I'm probably going to put this on a little bit later today. We have another King of Christmas, Bing Crosby. Of course, Merry Christmas. This has Adice Fideles, I'll Be Home for Christmas, White Christmas, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Silent Night, Jingle Bells with the Andrews Sisters, Christmas in Killarney, Santa Claus is Coming to Town with the Andrews Sisters, Faith of Our Fathers, Silver Bells with Carol Richards, Bella Kalikimaka, Merry Christmas with the Andrews Sisters. I know, my cover is beat up, but the album, which is on MCA Records, sounds fine. I have recently purchased White Christmas on Blu-ray, and I've watched it about 5 times already before Christmas has come, and I've come to really appreciate, just in general, White Christmas, the movie, and the chemistry between Danny and Bing is just legendary, and this album is legendary to me too. I was very glad to pick this one up. Of course, you know White Christmas is a staple around this time. You either love or hate Mele Kalikimaka, but to me, Bing's version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas is very underrated. I wish this had Marshmallow World on it, but come on, this is classic Christmas. I mean, what is there to complain about? Nothing. I tell you, nothing. We got another king here, Perry Como. This is Perry Como sings Merry Christmas music. This is on the Pickwick, I wanted to say that right, Pickwick label. This has 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, 12 Days of Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Joy to the World, Frosty the Snowman, I'll Be Home for Christmas, which his version is my favorite version of the song, to be completely honest. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, The Christmas Song, Merry Christmas to You, Winter Wonderland, White Christmas, Silent Night, That's Christmas Feeling, O Come All Ye Faithful, Adice Fideles, Jingle Bells, and Christmas. come on. Some of these older albums just know how to do the back right. I love these older albums because they have an essay on the back. It just really talks about the music. I keep looking here. It's just, I don't know what it is. You know, this is a stereo... It says, stereo effect reprocessed from monophonic. That is so funny to me. When it comes to the old classics, I don't know. It's just some of this is timeless, and I love it. I love some more modern stuff. We're about to show some more modern stuff here in a little bit. But to me, the old stuff, the old classics are classics for a reason. And I'm going to say you should pick up this one. You should pick up Bing, and you should definitely pick up the Andy Williams one. If you kind of want to round out your collection, a lot of these are interpretations of the same songs, but, you know, they're done well, and they're done differently with each person adding their own little bit of flair to the music. Next one is a staple. I recommend this for everybody. John Denver and the Muppets. This is on the RCA label with the cute little doggo. My copy does have a little bit of a beat up cover, but this is wonderful. Just wonderful. I thought it was beat up. I thought Kermit's, you know, right here is crazy, but you have everybody. Frank Oz, Jerry Nelson, Richard Hutz, Dave Goles, and Jim Henson. Like, you also have Steve Whitmire, Catherine Mullen, and Louise Gold. This is classic Muppets. And you have 12 Days of Christmas, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, The Peace Carol, Christmas is Coming, parentheses, round. Baby Just Like You, Deck the Halls, When the River Meets the Sea. When the River Meets the Sea is from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It's a reinterpretation of that. One of the albums that got away, unfortunately, with Record Store Day. But that's okay. Little Saint Nick, Noel, Christmas Eve, 1913, The Christmas Witch. They have a melody of Alfie, The Christmas Tree, Carol for a Christmas Tree. It's in Every One of Us. It's not Christmas without It's in Every One of Us for me. Silent Night, Holy Night, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Like, this cover, the reverse gatefold. Come on. This is Christmas to me. Like, it's just... There's a reason why this keeps getting repressed and repressed and repressed and repressed and repressed with different covers, different variations, all of that. This is essentially, for a lot of people, the Christmas album to get. And I agree. If John Denver and the Muppets was the Christmas album to get, this is the Christmas album to get on steroids. And that is Vince Grivaldi Trio's A Charlie Brown Christmas, featuring the famous Peanut characters, Vince Grivaldi. This is a repress. It has the fantasy label, much like we had this right here. I got this via Secret Santa last year, and I love this. This is a repressing. They did an excellent job going back and making it look like the original. I love this, and it even has other fantasy albums of interest. This is essentially a recreation of the album itself. And of course it has Christmas Time Is Here, the vocal version. Skating, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Christmas Is Coming for Elise. The Christmas Song. And also, well, that's the B-side, but the A-side opens up with O Tenenbaum, What Child Is This? My Little Drum, Linus and Lucy, and the instrumental of Christmas Time Is Here. This is Christmas, folks. This right here. This is Christmas. If you're not that much into jazz or anything, this is one of the most easily accessible Christmas albums of all time. I don't know what to say. If you don't have it in your Christmas collection and you love Christmas music, you need to have this CD. vinyl. They're repressing this all the time, but the copy I have is wonderfully remastered, and one of my favorites that I finally got last year. I'm just so happy to have this. And also, if you look at Snoopy, and then look at Snoopy here. I find it funny. I guess 2 different artists did this and tried to do a good job. They did a good job on this, but this is classic. This is classic right here. I know I've said this a couple of times already, but no joke, these 2 albums are Christmas to me. And they're just something that I suggest everybody has in their collection. And that is the Carpenter's Old Fashioned Christmas and the Carpenter's Christmas Portrait. Both are on the AM label. Let's talk about the Old Fashioned Christmas first. Starts with It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, then it has an overture of Happy Holiday, First Noel, March of the Toys, Little Jesus, I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus, A Little Town in Bethlehem, In Dulce Jubileo, Jesu Bambino, Angels We Have Heard on High, An Old Fashioned Christmas, Oh Holy Night, Home for the Holidays, another medley. This, a little Ultra Boy, like, this is Christmas. Both of these are Christmas. And just a shout out to my friend Ben, who surprised me with both of these albums a couple years ago. I love these covers. I love them. And I had a beat up copy of one of these, and it was just, I had to just have it. I've been meaning to get it, and I was surprised with this. But if you take one thing away, these are the highest recommendations I can have. These are just classics. And I've put the CD on my car many times. I don't drive that much right now because I'm working from home, but the CD got so much love I had to burn a new copy. Like, both of these you can't go wrong when it comes to Christmas music. There's one I picked up relatively recently, the past couple of years. This is from Record Store Day. This is Daryl Hall and John Oates, Home for Christmas. Now, this is one of the only couple that I have this color. This is Christmas Red. I absolutely love this on custom labels. And I will read you the track list in just a moment. I was just looking at the dead wax, see if there was anything interesting that I hadn't seen before. But this not only has really cool custom labels, the back is really cool too. So it has Overture, The First Noel, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, No Child Should Ever Cry on Christmas. This is written by John Oates. Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday. Home for Christmas. Christmas Must Be Tonight. Children Grow Where I Send Thee. This is traditional arrangement. Mary Had a Baby. The Christmas Song, Jingle Bell Rock, and Oh Holy Night. Some of the same songs, but what I love is different albums have different interpretations of different songs, and that's what I love about Christmas music, is when people come in and put their own spins on it. This is not the radio version of Jingle Bell Rock, but it is still a very worthy version. I'm very glad I picked this up. This was one of those add-on records that I wasn't expecting to buy, but I'm glad I did, because I just love that cover, and it's Hall & Oates. I love Hall & Oates. So remember at the beginning of this video I had a picture disc? Well, we come up now on the album itself. This is Lindsey Sterling's Warmer in Winter. And honestly, I'm saving the best album for last. There's one more I'm going to talk about in a moment, of course. But this is Lindsey Sterling's Warmer in Winter. Custom labels on double white wax. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. If it will keep not go. Stop. There we go. So what's on here? Well, wonderful Christmas music. That's what's on here. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, featuring Sabrina Carpenter. Christmas Come On, featuring Becky G. Carol of the Bells, Angels We Have Heard on High. Classic, side A, side B. I Saw Three Ships Let It Snow, Warmer in the Winter, featuring Trombone Shorty. What Child Is This? And All I Want for Christmas. Another classic. Side C, Time to Fall in Love, featuring Alex Gaskarth of All Time Low, Jingle Bell Rock, Silent Night, I Wonder As I Wander. That would be enough, but the 5 included songs are We Three Gentlemen, Santa Baby, Somewhere in My Memory, the main title from Home Alone, and Hallelujah. And her interpretation of Hallelujah gives me chills. But the best part is it's a single pocket of the picture in her sleeves. Lindsey Sterling outdid herself when she made this Christmas album. If you have to pick one version, I know it's a big retailer. I know you should support your locals. But if you have the option to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive or find a way to help your local store out by having them get it for you, get the deluxe edition. All the songs are worth your time, worth your money. Lindsey Sterling is a wonderful, wonderful artist, and this album is definitely worth your money. We're on our last album, folks. And I saved my favorite for last. It might not be the best copy in the world. I know I need a new copy. But Merry Snoopy's Christmas with Snoopy and his friend, the Royal Guardsman. This is on the holiday label. My favorite Christmas song of all time is Snoopy's Christmas. There's the guys right there of the Royal Guardsmen. Now you might be thinking, what's going on with the song titles? The story of Snoopy versus the Red Baron. The story of The Return of the Red Baron. The story of Snoopy's Christmas. I'll get to it in just a second. I Say Love, Down Behind the Lines. It's Stop with Camel Time. So Right to Be in Love. The Airplane Song, My Airplane. And it kind of looks like Christmas. Well, if you know the song Snoopy versus the Red Baron, you know that, of course, it's Snoopy fighting the Red Baron in the war times. You know that once he shot down the Red Baron, he went looking for him. And then on Christmas, there was the World War I Christmas truce that effectively had them saluting each other and toasting at Christmas. Well, in between each of the songs, there is a faux BBC radio broadcast that updates the story. So we start first with Snoopy going up to fight Manfred von Richthofen and the Red Baron's Flying Circus. The second that Snoopy shoots down the Red Baron, it starts off with a radio broadcast talking about how the Red Baron got shot down. And then, for Snoopy's Christmas, there are talks of a Christmas time truce. The truce is signed, but it's too late. There are jet fighters in the air. And this song starts off with Bonfire. You hear O Tannenbaum sung in German. And then it breaks into Snoopy about to fight the Red Baron, and they have a truce. I get chills every time this song comes on. But when you hear the interlude and then the song itself, it adds just so much more depth to this. And I am so glad I have a copy of this. I could find another copy, but as soon as I found this copy, I was like, I shook. Like, this is my favorite Christmas song of all time. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for watching just overall in general. It really, truly means a lot to me. I want to come on and share my Christmas music and just share the love of this season that I love so much. I may get one or two more videos up before the end of the year, but if I do not, I wish you and yours a very safe and happy Merry Christmas, happy holiday season for whatever you celebrate, and a wonderful and blessed new year. We've made it to the end of 2020. It is in sight. Yes, we have some lingering things left over that we'll have to deal with, but there are future brighter times ahead, and it's just close enough. So as I say at the end of everything that I am in, when the waters get rough, please keep on sailing. Now, please keep holding on. Even if you feel like no one else believes in you, if there's no hope, there is always hope out there. I believe in you. I love you. You know, I think about you all the time, and don't think that I don't. You are wonderful. You are loved. You deserve all the best. And with that, I will see you next time. Take care.